What's up, everybody? It's the Pirate Stacker coming at you Tuesday, Big Tuesday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I just got in from the garden. I got a new pineapple growing. Yeah. It's popped its little pineapple head up out of the center of it. I am very excited. It's really crazy how quickly that happens. Today, I'm going to be talking about investing. Let me preface this with, I am not a good example of how to invest. In fact, I've done the opposite of investing. I have done wasting for most of my life. I'm trying to change that around. If anybody has any tips, feel free to drop them in the links below. Investing is the way. I want to retire one day. Good morning, Numismatic Stacker. He's in the house. Thank you for stopping by. So, before I get deep into this, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't listen to me. This is for fun only. Let's talk about investing. So, I have always worked my butt off, and it's been one of those things that I'll be quite frank, I thought I'd die young. I was being told by doctors forever I would die young. I never thought I would make it to the age I am now. I'll be 48 in June. And so I really never thought about investing. And truthfully, it was all I could do to make a living. Now, I've had money I could have invested that I chose to play and party and gamble and do all those fun things with. And do I wish I had invested? Well, yeah, absolutely. I wish I would have invested. This is one of those places. I didn't have a close relationship with my dad. My dad was such a doomsday prepper type guy that the only investment he invested in was an orchard, a greenhouse, his property, and that was a great investment. I mean, that if you don't trust anybody, that is where you invest, is in your own life, right? Trees, plants, very tangible things you cannot lose. That's a very safe way to go, and I can see the value in that. I would say above all, I think land is an investment, right? I think it's a finite thing. Oh no, my gimbal died. All right, I see how this day is gonna go. Is everybody still there? No, I'm frozen. Now is everybody still here? Hopefully. All right, the gimbal just died, so we're going to freehand this one. So the land thing, I think that is a great investment. And, my son, we built him a rental property. It can be a wonderful thing. It's definitely an asset for the most part. I only recently started to learn, I was talking about not having a relationship with my dad. I would like to think that I think everyone needs a mentor of some sort. I think people need that wisdom that comes with age of somebody that is there doing it or has been there and done that. Fish has definitely been a mentor for me. My oldest son, he turned me on to stocks. It was one of those things that I wasn't really in a position, and it was tough, and I was constantly watching the ups and downs. My pal Fish, he is the one that really was like, look, a little at a time. We'll just keep putting it in. Let's do it. We'll pick it. And I've learned a lot from him, for sure. And that has really kept me on track. In fact, I had dabbled in crypto like 6 years ago. Lost it all. I was anti-crypto. Are we back yet? My time is still frozen. Here, now it's moving again. Look, I don't know if anybody live streams and you know how to make it to where I cannot receive calls, because every time a call comes in, it freezes the live stream. So if you know how to make it to where I can do that, because when I do airplane mode, it won't let me live stream, but airplane mode's the only way I know of how to not allow calls to come through. So if you know how to solve that problem, let me know. Shoot me a message, because it sucks. Every time they call, it freezes everything. Freezes my time, freezes my live, stops until they're done leaving a message, and then it carries on. So I'm not trying to ignore anybody. It's these stupid phone calls. So now I don't even remember where I was at. Yeah, I dabbled in crypto. I dabbled in stocks. Unsuccessfully, pulled the money out prematurely, lost the money on crypto, and I was done. And that was what led me into the silver and gold journey. Hey, it's in my hand. I own it. This is my silver. This is my gold. And, you know, I like that. I like that a lot. The reality of that at the time, up until recently, was there's no real return on gold and silver, right? It just kind of peters along. As far as long-term investments, it's not that. Now, we've had a big run up, and amazingly, gold is going nuts. You could, if you bought in the last year, gold was definitely an investment. It's gone up 35%. So that's incredible. But in general, gold and silver are not ever known to be an investment, right? Holy man, yesterday, was it yesterday? No. Early morning this morning, gold got to $34.95 an ounce. No, $34.96 an ounce. $34.96. My prediction was $3,500 by the end of the year. I think we see 4,000 by the end of the year. Hell, we might see 5,000 by the end of the year. This is really wild. Is gold a good investment? Right now, today, it sure seems to be. But going back to investing, I started back into it. I got a little in crypto, and I literally one trick pony. It's all on Ripple. Surprise, surprise, right? XRP, that's the only crypto I got. It's sitting there for the long term. It's money I can afford to lose if that happens. If it pops and does something, fantastic. I started an IRA. I've never had an IRA. You know, basically I can't touch it without penalty for 10 years. Hopefully that's enough that I can leave it there. Now, if I had to have it, I can get it out. But my goal with that was $200 a month into the IRA. And I'm I'm 1,000 in. Currently today, with all the turmoil, I'm at like 975 in value. So stocks are down. They're down from what I've been buying in at. But I'm confident they'll come back in the long term. And then my regular stocks that I can play around with, I'm into that 1,500. So, I mean, I have a fair amount. And I do like, I'm in Robinhood for my stocks. I do like that because I can see it on my phone. I can pull it up anytime. It's easy. I can buy. So, and I'm not proposing anybody goes out and gets stocks. I wish I would have put a little money into it along the way for all these years, because I couldn't even imagine where I'd be now. You know, there was a huge climb up over the last 6, 7, 8 years. Had I put in several hundred, several thousand over the previous 25 years, well, hindsight's 2020 on that. But I do dabble. I do have a little bit going in that, and I'm excited. And part of that too, my wife started a new job. She's at the elementary school, and they match her 401k. So she puts in the maximum. It's like 5% of her check. It's not a lot. And they match it with 401k. So she's been able to, in less than 2 years, I mean, she's built up an account of like 3,500. And that's nice, because we went from having no investments, no retirement, literal no retirement, to now we've actually got something that we're going, hey, if we keep it up, if we keep a steady pace, if we do this, if we do that, we could see getting to 100 grand. Now, 100 grand is not going to, Space Miner, you're a genius. He says, go to settings and click do not disturb. I'm going to do it. I'm going to find that. Not right now, but I'm going to find that. Transient Stacker says, I got long commercials. Sorry, this is how I make a living now. Podcast to you guys. Brings me in something like 3 cents a podcast. So you got to watch the commercials. Do it for Pirate. So at least now we're looking at it and going, hey, in 10 years, we could be to X, Y, Z, and that might be something. And, that gives us something to look forward to, which, not that we didn't have something to look forward to, we just never thought there would be a retirement ending. Not that 100 grand is going to retire us, but it will make for some nice vacations. And once we get to 100 grand, we save on for 200, right? I mean, right now we're at 5, so invested. Better than nothing. But I mean to bring this up because if you're not thinking about investing, you should. I wish I would have. I think in the future, silver and gold do continue to climb. I think that they will become an investable asset. I think, we sat and watched silver dink around and be manipulated and do all that for the longest time. And now we're seeing it sitting up in the 30s. That's like a real thing. We're like, we'd never see 30. Now it's, 32.90 right now. There's still a huge disparity. Literally gold over 3,400, silver at 32.90. Silver's got a long way to go. Still extremely undervalued. And I think they'll both continue to climb. I think they're both worth having. But those aren't the only assets, right? Silver, gold, land, stocks, crypto. There's some other plays too. Do you guys have an investment going that I haven't talked about? I'll talk about the Iraqi dinar. Look, I know everybody laughs when I bring that one up. It was a low money in and no money out game, right? Currently. But my premise was if they actually got into the BRICS, they would get revalued because they are a fraction of every other Middle Eastern country with oil. And truthfully, the Iraqi dinar is only low because they're tied to the U.S. The U.S. has control of that. So that number at some day is going to shake loose. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's something I just have sitting in the safe. Not a ton, a couple $100, no big deal. Numismatic has a little dinar. I know there's a bunch of stackers that have dinar. I think we've all inherently like to see the upside in things, right? We like to think we have the hot tip. Maybe nobody else has. So I have some Iraqi dinar. I've got a little bit of stocks. What is my big push? Truthfully, I'm happy putting a little bit of stuff into all these places. But my big push is for land, and it has been for land. I want When the market comes back around, we'll put our house back up for sale. It fell through twice the end of last year. The prognosis is looking up with Trump in office, and we've actually had several homes selling here. We're going to wait for the market to get stronger. We'll put our house on the market again, and that's strictly so that we can build a house and perhaps not have a mortgage at all. That is the dream. Now, I mean, it would be a budget build without a doubt. I would definitely video that and show you how I do it and all the numbers. But that is the dream. That is the big goal, because if I'm able to invest in land and put that together, that's pretty awesome. Somebody just mentioned investing in a new business. I love starting businesses. I'm self-employed. I agree. In investment in business, I think that is well worth your money. If you're just working a regular 9 to 5, you're expendable. That's always been very strong to me. People always get the feeling that they're so key to whatever company that they could never even function without them. And then something happens and they get fired, and guess what? The company rolls right on trucking. Doesn't even matter. You thought you were unfireable. You thought you were so important. It's never that way, not with corporate. And if you're able to start your own hustle, start your own racket, I mean, there's a lot of things. Even now, I'd still love to, what's up, James? I'd still love to run a hot dog cart. I love food stuff. I would love to be involved in the food industry for a living. To me, that's incredible. That's a dream for me. And that may be something that when I retire, I'm able to go throw $5-6 grand into a hot dog cart and pursue that for the fun of it. I think there's awesome opportunity. I love interacting with people. I love feeding people. I like eating food. I mean, it's a win-win all the way around. So, that will probably be something that crosses my path in the future. But even right now, man, we're picking fruit daily out of my backyard. Mostly tomatoes and blackberries, but we've got a lot of fruit starting to come in. Peaches, plums, cherries now. We've got a ton of stuff coming in, and it is so exciting that even looking at that and being like, man, yeah, you could sell your fruit. You could trade your fruit. I mean, for us, there's not enough that we would be doing that yet, but we would certainly love giving that to friends and family so they can enjoy it the way we do. I mean, that's definitely a priority for us, being able to spread around fresh fruit. And there's nothing better than fruit you pick in your yard. One, you picked it. Two, there's nothing on it. There's no pesticides. There's no nothing. I use potting soil, but I'm not using any kind of Miracle Grow or anything like that. So, I mean, the fruit has just got such a better flavor. All the food, when you eat it fresh, it's just so good. So that's really enjoyable. Look, the point of this video today was, if you're not investing, you should really think about it. And even if it's $10 a month, put it somewhere. Put it somewhere and let it work, for the first time in my life, when stocks cratered over this last couple months, I was like, I get it. Great. I want to buy. I want to buy more. And I know I'm still skeptical of the system. Do I think the whole thing could crash out from underneath? I do. But at the same time, do I also believe that at some point in time, either me or my family is going to be able to see the earnings of that? I do. I think at some point in time that will continue to climb. It will continue to prosper. And whether I benefit from it or my daughter does, I think that that's going to be a game changer for somebody. So that's where I'm at. Again, I'm no financial advisor. I'm a terrible financial advisor. I'm just saying I wish I would have invested more when I was young. If you're young, get some investments going. Doesn't have to be a lot. A little goes a long ways, and it's certainly better than nothing, which is where I was as of December. I had nothing but silver and gold. That's it. That's all I had. Now they're doing well, but I see the bigger picture, and investments is where it's at. I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you for watching. This is Pirates Podcast. This was Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Now I got something to look forward to. Tacos for dinner. Have a great day, you guys. I hope there's tacos in your future as well. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.